No doubt echoed by my next guest. Patrick Yoes is the Fraternal Order of Police. He's the national president. So he's the big cheese. So we're honored to have him. And he made news by backing, again, this is the nation's largest police union, Donald Trump. They've not often done that sort of thing, but they did. Patrick is here to tell us why he did. Very good to have you, sir. Why did you throw your support behind the president?
Thank you for having me. We've worked very closely with President Trump over the last 4 years on many initiatives. One of them was the First Step Act, which is the largest police reform act that has happened in recent time. And we were very proud to be the only labor organization that stood and recognized that we want to find ways to improve and better the criminal justice system. We also worked with the president closely on his executive order and also with Congress in both the House and the Senate, hoping that we can find some ways to improve, have fact-based discussions, and improve the quality of law enforcement. Unfortunately, we know what's happening in Congress, and we're kind of at a stalemate there. And the president's executive order is really the only police reform that has come out of all of this. Our members are also members of our communities as well. We have concerns. But we also have, I think, interesting for us, unlike other organizations, we have a process where our members are actually part of the decision in making our endorsement. And it's what happened yesterday. We completed our process with polling our members across the country in each one of the states where we exist, and had a unanimous support to endorse President Trump for our second term.
Had any of the group made a pitch for Joe Biden, talked to Joe Biden, asked what he would do if he were president, anything like that?
Well, on a local level, I mean, it's very possible. The way our process works is each state addresses or does their polling of their members, and each one of their state representatives casts a vote for their particular state. So I would not be naive to say that there are not some that are supporters for President Biden. There are some that felt maybe no endorsement might be, but overwhelmingly of all the states, it was unanimous in their decision to support President Trump for a second term.
You know, Patrick, I just had a Washington Democratic Congressman on Adam Smith who was saying the president has not been as beneficial to either the law enforcement effort or, for that matter, keeping the peace effort, that his tone and his tenor has actually sparked more unrest. What do you think of that?
Well, what I will say is this. I think what we have in America today is an unwillingness to sit down and have a meaningful discussion based on fact. And when we do that, there's no solution. I mean, there's no problem we can't find a solution to, but we're just not motivated on each side to be able to do that. I can tell you as an organization, we have reached out to the president on a number of occasions and talked about important issues for the stability of law enforcement. And not once have we not walked away without a very meaningful dialogue and results. In that respect, I have to say that I have a different opinion and a different experience than perhaps the congressman.
What are your thoughts on this defund police movement, or at least reallocate their funds, which I guess would be defunding? What do you think of it?
Well, look, it's obvious. It's obvious one thing for sure. We defund police. I wonder if this is not just a narrative that has run awry, and it has turned into a much larger discussion that maybe we really can't wrap our arms around it. What does a society look like without rules and rule of law? If you look at every community, those who are least likely to be able to help themselves are the ones that are going to be hurt the most. If you start taking funds away from law enforcement agencies, there are many things that give us the trust in the community, and one of them is being properly trained. And the other one is the community-based programs we have that builds that respect in the community. If you cut funding, those are the two things that are going to happen, that are going to be cut first. So our ability to be able to build those relationships that allow us to have thriving communities are going to be hampered even worse by this whole thought of taking funds away from law enforcement.
Patrick Yoes, I want to thank you very much. Yoes, I should say, the Fraternal Order of Police National President, following developments right now across the country and saying, as far as his group is concerned, the president is the one to